Kanishka Molly. Friday, June 19. 2980, Thornton Avenue, Flint, Michigan. Jace Hiawatha, a high school teacher in his late 20s, was found dead, in his pool. The night was dark, both his wrists along with his throat had been slashed open. The water in his pool was glistening in a dark shade of crimson, from the blood that was slowly dribbling out of his veins. Saturday, August 22. 6740, Orange Lane, Flint, Michigan. A second victim to the same evil. Hudson Gunner, a sales executive in his mid-30s, was found dead as well. The cut marks were similar, too. Eden Booker, the lead detective on the case, declared it as a serial murder case. I was appointed as forensic scientist by Eden. I tap on my phone screen to see the time. It's almost 7 in the evening. I should start wrapping up my work. I switch the radio on. Ian Britt's The Shape of Us starts playing, in a low melody. It was one of my mother's favorite songs. I hum to myself softly. A small smile quickly finds its way on my lips. Reminiscing the song a little more, I recall memories of Mom. Shrilling ring of my cell phone cuts through the song. I sloppily remove my hand gloves and reach for it. Detective Harper's name has lightened up the screen. Tapping on the answer icon, I put it on speaker and continue my work. "Hello detective, how's the case coming up for you?" I ask her. She's working under Eden for the ongoing case. Harper and I are close, kinda like best friends. I adore her. She is very passionate and warm woman. Spooky season just started and you're asking me this. I hear her sigh. I wash my hands and start packing my things. Okay, dinner. I know she'll say yes. My guess is, that's the reason she has called. I'm craving for sushi, dinner at Fish and Chicken Land. She asks spirited. I smile at her reaction. Be there in 20, okay? Okay, bye. The traffic is light, I reach in 10 minutes. The place is cozy, I look for a corner table for two. Harper comes shortly after I find a table. I wave at her from my seat. Her caramel skin is glowing in dim lighting of the diner. Stubborn curls pulled into a tight bun. I notice she's still in her uniform. Hey, smiling, she takes a seat. I smile back at her with a hey. You came early, I thought you'd take some time, so I walked down here. She says, eyeing the menu. The roads were mostly empty. I copy her action and check out the menu. You know the superiors are pressuring Eden for the serial murder case. It's gonna be hectic for next few weeks. The waiter comes and takes our orders. I gaze at her as she tells me everything about her day. The lead you guys have is mostly an assumption or a 50-50 chance, except for the fact I told you about the blade. Both the bodies have deep cuts, deeper than normal, which leads us to only two possible blades, a talon knife or a gut hook. According to me, chances are 60-40. She glares at me in denial. It's always more than assumption, you know it. The killer either hates water or likes it too much. You want to know what I personally feel? Why do you even ask? I lean forward curiously, not about the case but her. The table is a small one, made for two, which gives a cozy little feeling. Our knees beneath the small table are touching. I don't think she minds or even cares to notice. Serial killers are genius psychopaths. Always obsessed with something, they know the consequences and are not afraid of it. Their determination leads them and their obsession shapes them. This killer doesn't hate water, he's obsessed with it. Especially pools. I'm also guessing he likes color red. I mean, one can even drown and kill, but he chose to make the whole pool water red. Her eyes spark even brighter as she rambles on her theories, which I can tell are facts that she learned with her experience. Did you discuss this with Eden? I ask her. From the corner of my eye, I see the waiter coming forth with our dishes. I hand Harper a table napkin out of habit. He's still stuck on the cell phone theory. He feels the killer was mocking him or something. I feel it was more like Killer's way of telling us, more are to be murdered, game is not over. Her last sentence comes out as confused, as if she's asking me the question. When the first murder happened, the victim's phone was gone. The killer took it. Eden thought it was a common mistake by the killer and he'd track him, but it was more of a play. The killer switched on the phone at second murder's location, and when Eden tracked it, second body was floating, with its victim's phone missing. It was almost midnight when I reach my place. I change into sweats and directly jump in my bed. My phone chimes, I roll to my bed stand. A message from Harper pops up. Night Doc. I reply immediately, Night Detective. A small buzzing sound is echoing through the darkness I'm in. The noise keeps getting louder as seconds pass. I soon realize I'm sleeping and the buzzing noise is my alarm going off. I sit up straight and snooze it off. I take a minute to adjust to the sunlight pouring from my windows. Rubbing my eyes, I check what time it is. Yesterday strikes like a distant memory I can't seem to remember. Not only yesterday, I can't quite remember so many things. My brain is in a sort of haze. I blink 4 to 5 times, as I feel it can help me remember. Nothing happens though. I get up for a shower. Slowly but surely, as the cold water from shower dribbles down my body, memories start to flood my mind. Memories of a murder. I think I was at the crime scene. I can remember it all too vividly. This murder seemed a little different from the others. The water was a bit deep. Third man killed, the police sirens resonating through the neighborhood. The still, dark red water, shimmering under all the lights. I step out of the shower, wrapping a towel low on my hips. However, I don't remember anything other than that murder. Weird. I see if I've any missed calls or messages. There are none. I call Eden. After 3 rings he picks it up. Hello. Hey, so I remember about the recent murder. Have you got any new leads this time? The line is quiet for some time before he asks, what murder? The serial murder one. Third victim was found. Really? When? Where? I hear some ruffling. Perplexed I question my own memories. I don't recall that. I reply. Okay, I'll call you in 5. Eden hangs up on me. I sigh. What is going on? I get ready for work. Maybe, when Eden catches up on things he'll visit me with the body. But then I've been at the crime scene, the body must be in lab. I don't really remember. I think I should see a neurologist. Something is very wrong with me. My cell vibrates through my pants pocket. It's Eden. Hey, did you catch up? I question. Keith, what are you high on? Marijuana? Pot? He demands, irritated. You know I've been on edge as it is for almost 4 months now. Why would you kid about something like this? He continues. I'm not kidding. I know how important this is for you. I sound sincere, and I know that what I remember is not a dream or fantasy or whatever. Also, if I were high, why'd I talk about a murder? I don't know, man. Earlier you said you remember it, tell me about that. I remember the crime scene. You know I haven't been to last murder's crime scene. This one, I remember it clearly. It's night time, the water is a dark shade of red. Body is floating, somewhere in the middle of the pool. That has been the literal scene of last 2 murders. I think you just had a nightmare about it. Do you want a day off? He asks genuinely. Confused I stop my car on roadside. I can't remember all the details, but I know that it wasn't a dream for sure. However, Eden would know if there was a real murder. I think I'll take up on the offer. By the way, you gonna tell my boss this? Bye. I hang up. I grip the steering wheel tightly, groaning, I rest my head against it. Later, around 10, Eden's name lit my cell screen. I pick its second ring. Come to the precinct, now. He orders, and then the line goes off. Aimlessly, I stare at the blank screen. It must be important, he sounded earnest. I reach the precinct in 20 minutes. Harper starts glaring at me the second she lays her eyes on me. You should have known better than calling Eden in the morning. She angrily whispers in my ear and then goes back to her desk. Eden standing against his office door, hands folded, and a hard gaze on his face inspecting me. He then whisks me in his office. You know, Keith, you're now the prime suspect of serial murder case going on from 4 months. It takes me time to understand what he is trying to say. What? How? The murder you were talking about this morning, it was reported an hour ago. The victim was killed 1.5 hours ago. I think this tells you enough. His eyes are questioning me, asking if I really have something to do with this. I think everything through, if I was really high yesterday, if I actually have something to do with murders, if it was all a dream. If it was not, how much do I exactly know, and is it by any chance true or just an illusion? An absurd thought crosses my mind, what if all my memories were a future and not past? It's absolutely ridiculous. Even so, it doesn't change the fact that my memories have been prophetic. I straighten up, Eden won't believe it until he himself realizes it. I look him dead in the eye, he matches my stare. Saturday, October 17th. It's been 16 days, since the third murder. Except for me, Eden has got no new leads. The blades theory has been useless, apparently normal stores don't sell such knife blades. The ex-victim's phones we got, has been God knows how readjusted, no data was found. Being obsessed with water doesn't give off much. Hence, Eden has not left my side. I was questioned every other day by him. He's becoming violent, there are no proofs against me, except for the phone call. His new theory is me being the killer's acquaintance, which is really stupid, I don't even like water or red color that much. Every day, since that murder I've been getting new memories. I feel like a clairvoyant. I remember questions before they're asked, I remember being somewhere near water. Harper has somehow started believing me, I guess I gave her enough proofs. According to Eden, crime scene has every answer a detective is looking for and therefore we're again at the damn crime scene. It makes me nauseous. The pool is still filled with the blood water. I look around, the house is pretty big. I see an old woman trespassing, Harper rushes at her. Ma'am, you cannot come in here. Harper politely tells, the lady ignores her. Her calculating eyes are set firmly on the murder scene. She stands beside Eden. Harper goes to her, but Eden stops Harper, letting the lady inspect. Immaculate, the old woman speaks after some time. Eden looks at her in question. The murder's clean, no blood or water is splattered, that means the victim didn't fight back. The way it has been done, it has a feminine touch. The red water, the tidiness of it and no unnecessary violence. We're looking for a woman here. She explains further, her eyes still not moving from the pool. The truth, it always comes in little bits of doubts, one has to catch on those doubts and slowly draw it all together. This time she eyes me, as if I'm one of her doubts. I've a doubt as well, this killer, she is connected to pools. There's a possibility that she might be a swimmer or a lifeguard. Harper tells her as if that old lady is her boss. Who is this old lady? She seems experienced. There's a possibility she might be both. She answers Harper, and then she leaves. Do you know her? I ask Eden. She was the best detective of our precinct once. He snorts. Oh. The bright rays of sun spew light in my blissful darkness. I wonder what I'll remember today. This new ability of mine has a major backlog. I can't distinctly recall things from my past, I only recollect my future. Every morning I remember something about the rest of the day. The memories are not clear, they just feel real. Instinctively I open my eyes and glance at the bedside clock. Groaning, I get ready to visit the precinct. Same memories of murder start knocking my brain cells. Why am I getting the third murder's insights back? I ponder, some new scenes flash in my head this time. The water, it's dark, not crimson, but there's no light. I remember a body, floating face down. The body seems to be of a girl this time. I can even recall Eden, his usually annoyed face appears gloomy. I think there is going to be one more murder, that too today itself. I call Eden, this time he listens right away. He alerts all officers under him. I particularly tell him the pool this time is going to be big, and the victim is a girl. Ploddingly, over hours I recall new things. Things such as there are two bodies in the water. A man and a woman. The man is almost my size. I can't recollect their faces. Eden asks me if I remember anything about the killer, or if I can figure out the location. I only recall the dead bodies, the water and Eden somehow. At 6 he orders his officers to cover every single big pool in the city. I'm about to accompany him when he orders me to stay in his office and look after the mobile locator. I don't feel good about tonight. The amount of stuff I'm recollecting is insane. Eden has left an officer in charge of me. That asshole still doesn't trust me enough. Suddenly I recollect a memory of Harper crying. I don't know what to do of this information. I unconsciously play with the pen on Eden's desk. An alarm goes off, I peek at Eden's laptop screen. It's the locator. Holy shit. I zoom in, the killer shows to be somewhere near Park Lake and Eden's team is patrolling on the other end of city. I think through the situation. Precinct is 10 minutes away from the lake. If I take a car I might be able to catch the killer just until Eden comes with his team. I glance at the officer sleeping on his desk, he seems comfortable. The killer appears to be at the backside of the lake. I quickly text Eden, after I reach exact location. The moon has risen high, casting its rich light in this dark night. I recall as I pace towards the water. That man's body, the same picture as the first time I had a memory of future. It highlights through every other memory. The darkness of blood, that floating body. Suddenly in that moment everything around me freezes. I remember Harper crying, the gloomy face of Eden, an officer comes and reports him. Sunday, October 18th. Flint Park Lake. Keith and Sawyer, a forensic scientist, in his mid-30s was found dead along with Amira Hughes, who has been declared as the serial killer. Amira seduced men, and later killed them in their own pools. She was a community pool lifeguard. I realize all along I had been recollecting memories of my own death. I have literally walked into this on my own. I scream, I clutch my head. My legs finally give out. My breath starts getting deeper. All these memories, they overwhelm me. I don't want it. The picture of my own floating corpse mocks me. Tears slowly glide down my cheeks. I knew you would come alone. A seductive voice interrupts my thoughts. I look at her through the tears in my eyes. The serial killer. How will she kill me, if I kill her first? Amira. She's astonished on how I know her name, but she quickly hides it behind a smirk. She's about to say something when I abruptly stand and run in her direction. She shows me her blade, but I'm fast enough to disarm her. We're standing on the edge of the lake. I try to stab her, but she ducks it and pulls us both into the water. I stroke the knife in my hand. The water slowly swallowing us in, I suddenly feel unbearable pain surge through. She stabbed me. She comes up to celebrate her victory when I puncture her with my knife, just above her chest. My vision starts blurring out, the red water around me starts pulling me deep, dissipating me in its darkness.